So what's up again, guys? Encrypted Black here. So want to talk about Shiba Unu token, Shiba Unu coin, whatever you want to term it as, right? So like you must be asking yourself what is really happening with the Shiba Unu ecosystem. So I'm going on Binance now. Let's just take a look and see what's up with it, right? Okay, good. It's at 1180. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Doing 24-hour trading volume on Binance of 15 million. Like this is kind of like the lowest trading volume I've seen on Binance for Shiba Inu. But what has been happening is that they would have released their bone, their leash, you know, and they supposedly want to come out with a fork of Ethereum that would do mass adoption, right? They will do mass adoption because of cheaper transaction fees. And they supposedly said that they were going to burn their land, their metaverse ecosystem. And the thing that I don't like about too many goals, that's just what has caused the whole Shiba Inu ecosystem to be on a downtrend, and persons are losing hope into the entire ecosystem because they release a token. Many persons are, well, few persons made million, well, most persons make millions, some make billions, right? Okay, good. That's great. But it hasn't reached its peak as yet. Reason being, it's like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has reached a peak, but it hasn't reached to that high level as yet. Now, what I mean is this: there are still more potential in Shiba Inu coin, in the Shiba Inu token. But what the developer have done over the time, or over the past period of time, is that he has been making promises. Oh, their land, their metaverse, and this NFT crap, and all sort of those things, right? And he has been stockpiling futuristic goals on top of each other. Okay, so have the bathroom to clean, the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, whatsoever. Stack those goals on top of each other and do not try to achieve any of them. Oh, well, you're gonna run through the week and you still have those goals to fulfill because I haven't started yet. So that's what has happened to the downfall of the Shiba Inu ecosystem, right? Well, do we think that it will recover? Well, anything can recover so long as the development process begins. And now they're saying, okay, you know what? They're expected to release the beta version of Shibarium, which would have been their Shiba Inu coin. That would have been their Shiba Inu coin, not token, a token run on a blockchain like Ethereum, like on Binance Smart Chain, right? A token run on those. But actually, Ethereum and Binance are kinds because they have their own blockchain, right? So Shiba Inu want to do their own blockchain, supposedly because of transactional costs on Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has gone to proof of stake now, so transaction fees should be at their minimum. But they're expected now to release the Shibarium beta within the third quarter of this year. Not much longer. Now, those goals stockpiling on each other and none have been realized as yet, and they are creating all sort of things. They wanted now to do so. At first the development come out and they said, okay, we are going to go on our own chain, right? Shibarium chain there, right? And then Shiba Inu coin would be the main ecosystem coin. And then, okay, they switch it now and said that they are going to create a different token, which would have been the main token, right? That would have, like control transaction fees and so forth. And then also, so they have Shiba Uno token, they have Bone, they have Leash. So one project has this many tokens, right? So I've said it over and over. You have many goals, you're not going to realize any, right? So now they have all of these goals to to try to fulfill, and it seems as if things are just heading down the wrong path, and persons are losing interest because they are confused as to the future of the Shiba Uno. And listen, when I first started out hearing about Shiba Uno, I was really interested, and I had friends who I said, let's do an investment in Shiba Uno, and we did a massive investment in it, and over time, we take out our money because we have lost interest, because there have not been any work. Now, this is the thing. It's best to it, let me just bring up the trading chart here that you don't get too boring. So this is just basically what has been happening with Shiba Uno token. Now, the thing now is this. It's best to have no goal, right? Listen now, listen. It's best to have no goal. Then maybe, you say, okay, cool. Best to have no goals than to have goals expectation. Now, this is what I mean. So supposedly there are many other meme tokens out there they have no use case practically. No use case like Safe Moon. What's the use case of that? Which, it did, fairly well. Not as well as Shiba Uno token though. However, there are many meme tokens out there. Well, good. Let's take Dogecoin for example. What's the purpose of Doge? And I say, okay, you can't compare Shiba Uno with Doge. Yes, I can, because what is the use case of Doge? It was just a joke. It was just a joke, right? Now, back to what I'm trying to say now is that, it's best to not have any goal than to have goal expectation and not meeting them. So it's like 6 is one, half dozen is the other. Now, like, okay, you have a goal to buy a car, you want to buy a truck, you want to buy a boat, you want to buy a ship, you want to buy a yacht, you want to buy an island, right? Okay, cool. That's your goal expectation because you have not realized those as yet. So those are goals expectation. Okay, cool. I'm right here. I don't have any money to buy any car, house. Well, I have a house already. I'm not gonna buy a yacht, any boat, any ship, I don't want those, firstly, and then secondly, I can't afford them. So I'm like, okay, I don't have those goals. I don't have any goals. Now, who is better off now? Person who doesn't have a goal, or the persons who have a lot of goal expectation that he or she will not achieve because he has been stockpiling these goals, expectations. Listen, I did not say goal. I said goals, expectation. This is just stockpiling your wants, your needs. It's like you're hallucinating. Like, you want this, you want that. You're just stockpiling all those wants and need onto a plaque. And said, you know what? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And none of those will get done because you are just imagining, right? Those are just being imagined. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But nothing will never get done because those are what? Goals, expectations. Those will just never get filled. So that is why I say it's best not to have any goal than to have goals, expectation that will never get fulfilled. So that's just basically that. I've got that part out of the way, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Now, Shiba Uno, a lot of community members have speak out about it, because once they created a portal where burn was happening, and I know persons who are continuing to do burns and so forth, but yet there's lack of communication between the development and then the community, right? And I really believe that SHIB would have had a major impact on the cryptocurrency phenomenon. However, that's not happening because SHIB is just basically being exploited by its own creator now. He is just basically exploiting the people who is around, just like what Do Kwon did with Lunatic, right? He basically exploited the fact that persons like the token, and so forth, right? So that's just basically what has been happening with SHIB. It's like, you had SHIB before. Why go and create a bone? Why go and create a leash? And now he wants to create a stable kind. And I've talked about that in the previous video. That, listen, there's VUSD, there USDT, Theta. Man, like, why would you need another stable kind? And I'm sure it's not going to be managed by Paxos, right? So, guys, for those of you who doesn't know, Paxos is the fintech. Yes, it's a fintech technology company. Well, Paxos Trust Company is a New York-based financial institution and technology company specialized in blockchain. The company products offering include a cryptocurrency brokerage service, asset tokenization service, and settlement service. Okay, good. So I'm sure that Ryoshi or whatever his name is, he's not gonna go in New York, walk into the Paxos Trust office and say, you know what, I want to create a stable coin, because now they're gonna ask him, where did you get that money from? And he has to prove. So he is not going to do that, and don't think Paxos is gonna just give anyone, man, like the cryptocurrency leverage like that to create a stablecoin under their name, to say, okay, Paxos is managing, the stablecoin, and ensure that whatever funds are in the bank is actually what's really being, circulating in the market. You're just not gonna give that to a small person, right? Now, thinking that he is hoping to do a Terra Luna thing, yeah? Like he would create like he would create a algorithmic stablecoin. Wow, that's recipe for disaster. That's recipe for disaster. It seems as if no one is taking the Terra Luna downfall very seriously. You start creating this algorithmic stablecoins, it's recipe for disaster. And like, it would be so much easier. And I guess I have to be, understanding that maybe, most of the transaction he would want it to be managed on his Shiba Swap platform, so that he could maybe earn some funds from that. However, that's not gonna happen, because there are persons who wouldn't go on his platform to trade, because they maybe cannot set any stop loss there. So you have to be mindful of the reason why persons wouldn't want to go to a DEX, because they cannot set stop loss on DEX, right? Decentralized exchange. However, persons on the centralized exchange, they could, manage their portfolio from there and set their stop loss. So he has to be mindful of that. Now, he could just as well, implemented a BUSD or a USDT Theta stablecoin on his platform, because it's readily available there. So I don't think that there's a need for him to go and create a stablecoin for the Shiba Inu ecosystem And then he's like saying, oh, Shiba Inu will not be the main ecosystem token. It just will not be it. So you're going to make transaction, you're going to pay transaction fees in a different token that they will build. And I basically think that, man, these guys are just joking, and I have to just call it quit. Whoever want to stay in it, you can go ahead and do it and hope for the best. It's like this project called SOS. I was taking in it, and then I saw the dev them. They were like saying, they were gonna launch another token because some funding issue they had and certain planning and so forth did not go as they wanted, and they are in need of funds. I'm like, whoa, like they didn't plan it out and see that, okay, we're gonna need funds to do this and funds to do that. So they're gonna create. That's what the dev has been saying. That I don't know if they have done it as yet. So I've staked on it, and then you know what I say. I'm out of this SOS token, because if the development is gonna come and say, okay, you know what, we are going to relaunch another token to fulfill the dream of the SOS ecosystem. I'm like, wow, this thing is all about money, and this is what I'm talking about, people. This is what I have been saying. Not because, oh, you see these persons around computers and, oh, they said, oh, I went to Harvard, I went to MIT, they are a bunch of criminals. They are. Because who would have thought that persons would have sit down and come up with SOS token, and then couple months down the line they are now saying, okay, you know what, we are going to go ahead and create another token. So you know what's going to happen? It's the token with the more volume, the more interest. That's the one that is going to survive, right? So basically you're saying, we just need some funding, and so forth. So we're going to go ahead and create another token. And I'm like, okay, cool. Bye. You just do your thing, but I'm out, because I don't see the sense in having two tokens. That is just very much scammy to me. And I said, you know what? I'm out. Listen, I may be wrong, but those are red flags. And when you see red flags, you don't just pass red flags, you take note of them and you get the hell out of there. But guys, thanks for watching this video. And I hope that, you'll kind of get some understanding of what I'm talking about. And you can just leave your comment down below. And remember to hit the subscribe, button. And just like this video. But that's my take on the whole SOS token, the whole Shiba Inu ecosystem. And like Rayosha, whatever he wants to name, he is doing a horrific job, So I think that he should call it quit. Do Kwon should call it quit. Those guys should just leave cryptocurrency alone. And the SOS guys, you guys are doing some crappy things. You should just leave the whole ecosystem. Leave it just like it is.